I'm Atta, a London-based coffee startup entrepreneur. Over the past few months, I've been converting a Ford Transit van into a mobile home and coffee business with the goal of being completely independent and free to travel and earn as I go. This week, I find out if I'm allowed to continue trading through lockdown, add some new electrical upgrades, and gain a new qualification in COVID safety. I'm scared. I'm motivated. I don't know. I'm all kinds of things. I'm shattered. I'm absolutely knackered. It's still sort of dangling above me like a bit of a Damoclean sword.
My name's Hunter. That's probably the best drop of coffee I've ever had.
Oh, fantastic.
Highly recommend.
I'm just struggling a bit with my motivation today. I think it's a combination of the weather. I'm just going to quickly show you outside. If you look, it's literally freezing cold. It's like 3 degrees outside. So I'm just I'm just thinking the idea of potentially going under the van or climbing up on top of the van, it's just very difficult to sort of motivate myself to do something like that. And also, I'm just trying to stay resilient psychologically to this whole impending lockdown thing. It's really hard, you know, you hear about really established businesses making losses on the radio, and it affects you. I mean, in a way I feel like I should be proud that I've actually been making profits, and even last week I turned a profit, which is fantastic considering what an absolute nightmare we're in. That does give me pride, and that does, you know, make me think that I'm doing the right thing. I'm just nervous, to be honest with you. I literally don't know what is going to happen next. I've been trying to reach out to the council, but you know, they can't really tell me anything until they've had a meeting with the government, and we've got a big meeting this afternoon. All of the market traders, all of the council leaders, we're all going to have a Zoom call this afternoon. I just feel quite stressed. There's so much uncertainty. And even if I am allowed to trade, you know, people might not turn up. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic news. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Right, so as long as I keep a barrier around the front table, then I'm allowed to continue to trade. Great. Oh, that's so reassuring. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, I'll be in touch shortly to book in. That's great. Okay. Thank you again. Thank you for all your support. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Bye. Okay. So that was the market manager for Hoxton Street Market. They've said that as a takeaway coffee business, I will be allowed to continue to trade through lockdown if I so choose, which is fantastic news, because I'm very lucky and very grateful to have been given this opportunity, because there are other traders that won't be allowed to trade. They've told me that unfortunately some other businesses will have to be suspended. So I really do appreciate that. I haven't heard anything back from Chatsworth Road yet, so I'm waiting to hear back from there. I do have concerns, because last Saturday I didn't make a profit at Hoxton Street, and the profits have really been steadily declining in that area ever since we've been heading back into this situation. So I have to reflect on it over, the market manager has given me till tomorrow morning to come back to him to see if I want to book in. But I am, realizing that in decision making, there's sort of two main arms to your decision making strategy. One is financial and one is purely strategy. And often you have to have in your mind long-term strategic ideas that sometimes initially make no financial sense but do pay off in the long run. So I'm going to have to weigh up what I'm going to do, really, because if I do go in this Saturday, I will be going in with the mindset that I will be probably making a loss, because footfall has been so bad there over the last few weeks. I can't imagine it getting any better. The only difference, the only unknown and sort of uncharted territory that I'll be heading into will be this sort of lockdown environment whereby I may potentially be the only coffee trader operating, which would give me a stronger position, but there's no guarantees. I might turn up and the other coffee shops on the street may be operating takeaway only, which again would put us on more of a level playing field, which may play to my advantage somewhat. But it's, there's so much of when you're starting out in business that is uncharted, and you have no historical financial data to fall back on. You've got nothing, you're just blind. You basically go out, and if you make a profit, you make a profit. If you make a loss, you make a loss. Which is exciting, but at the same time, very scary, because I don't have, unlike big companies, I don't have, lots of reserve capital to sort of throw at things and see how they land. If it doesn't stick, I can only do that so many times before I run out of money. So, yeah. And at the same time, I don't want to come across as ungrateful when I've been allowed to operate and to trade when other people haven't. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I just came out of the digital meeting. It's a general meeting between all the traders and the senior leaders of the market team for Hackney Council. And I just feeling very charged, feeling the weight of the situation. I should say emotionally charged, because of the stories. There are traders in that meeting that are not allowed to continue to trade. There are traders in that meeting that have invested heavily in stock for the Christmas period that will not be able to effectively sell that stock, and quite rightly so. They're concerned, to say the least, for their livelihoods. Yet again, I feel the immense luck and privilege of my circumstance that my overheads, are so low with the regards that I'm living in a van. I have the support of my family. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have rent. I'm able to ride this out. Whereas there are traders that rely on the markets to pay their mortgage, to support their families, to to survive, you know. And you hear about traders that are suffering from mental health, that have lost their businesses, that, you know, are really suffering, like really suffering. And it does bring you, it brings not very many things bring me close to tears, but yeah, that was a very difficult meeting. I just got off the phone with the market manager of Chatsworth Road. I have been informed that I will be allowed to continue to trade this weekend, and I have been informed by the market manager of Hoxton Street Market that I'll be allowed to trade there as well. It's very uncharted territory for me. Huge risk in terms of making a loss. I could turn up and no one could be on the street, but I can't turn this opportunity down, because after that meeting I realized how lucky I am just to be allowed to trade. So I have to go, I have to try and see what happens. Ultimately, if I make a loss, I know that I can't make a profit in this environment, but I cannot turn this opportunity down. I'm terrified as well from the, you know, even though I'm operating from a COVID secure environment, I have all of my risk assessments, my COVID risk assessments, my PPE. It's still really scary. I have to make a decision on whether to call Joe in. Maybe there's just too much risk in terms of loss. If I do the first week and I see that I'm overwhelmed and there is incredible amounts of traffic and I need the support, then I can call him in. There's just a lot to think about. And to be honest with you, I've been really struggling to be productive over the last, you know, it's Wednesday today. Over the last couple of days, I have been struggling, because you can imagine nothing else has been on my mind but this and this meeting and receiving the news on whether I can trade or not. Absolutely terrifying. You know, what am I going to do if I can't trade? I literally don't know. So yeah, I'm incredibly grateful. I'm scared. I'm motivated. I don't know. I'm all kinds of things. I'm shattered. I'm absolutely knackered. Yeah. I do feel motivated. I do feel like I've had a massive weight lifted off me. It's still sort of dangling above me like a bit of a Damoclean sword, but I've got the weight off me now. I feel like I can actually move somewhat forward productively. So let's see how we go. As an NCAS member, I get access to a COVID safety training course, which helps me as a business owner deliver best practice while working in what is going to be, frankly, a very hazardous environment. So I'm going to get myself trained up on all of the potential risks, how to mitigate those risks, and just give myself all of that extra knowledge that I'm going to require while operating during lockdown. I've just finished the training module on the COVID safety procedures. I now have my certificate from NCAS. I'm now fully trained and I know that what safety procedures and what new implementations I need to put in place. I'm just feeling so frustrated. I basically spent the majority of yesterday and today researching, preparing for an application for a grant, a business grant that I thought I was eligible for. And I've just seen in the small print that I'm basically, your business has to have started before March 2019 for the grant, and it's just a wall I keep hitting with any sort of support I try and reach out for during this time. Basically, because I started my business this year, basically on the verge of lockdown, I'm not eligible for any support at all. All of the government support structures are there, all of the grants, all of the everything basically created is essentially for established businesses, and there isn't anything, there's no support for people like me who are trying to start businesses in this current economic climate. Today I'm going to be installing two clever little devices into my electrical system. I've got this voltage drop alarm, so this will give an audible alarm when the voltage drops below a certain level. So if there are any situations where I forget to hook up, or if there's a failure somewhere in the system on the charging side, then this will warn me. And then I've got this device as well. This will basically convert the 12 volts into a range of different voltages, quite a wide array of voltages. So I'm going to install these two, and it will just give me a lot more flexibility in my electrical system. Oh my god, look at that. Cool, so that works. Oh wow, look at that. The center power socket here, I have to be careful because this is all live, but the center 12 volt power socket, it has power coming from the leisure battery. It then is laid onto this switch, so I can turn this all off, which would kill power to that. I turn this on, which then allows me to access the timer module. This allows me to delay the power coming on and set it to run on, and it's got loads of different timer features. It then sends the power to this module here, which I can control the volts and the amps, which is fantastic. It then sends the power back here, which means it gives me so much flexibility on the amount of power, the amount of time. It's just a fantastic little setup. This is cool. So I can turn it off, I can turn it on. It gives me an indication of the battery level. When that drops very low, that will give an alarm, an audible alarm. So then I can change this to, I can turn it off, I can turn it on, and then I can increase the voltage. Okay, 32 is the absolute max. You can do a max of 5 amps out. And it's actually nice that it's softer. That is actually much nicer. Morning guys, so it's Friday. I've got quite a few things to do today. Feeling still quite chuffed with these new electrical devices that I'm running. I've installed. They're really cool. They're like definite added functionality to the van. And I don't know why I put them off for so long. I don't know, you get a bit nervous when you're adding more devices, because every time you cut into the wood, you've got so many extra cables running through the back of that thing that it can just be a little bit, you know, it makes you a bit nervous. I've been getting quite thicker and thicker little frost crust building up on the screen, and it can be annoying when you want to go to work in the morning having to defrost that. So apparently this piece of material goes over the top and it prevents the frost building up, but it's also acted as like a minor insulator, so it seems to have prevented, I'd say, about 90% of the condensation that was forming on the windows. So it's Saturday morning, I'm just about to head into market. I very much feel like I'm heading into the unknown here. Very unprecedented times. I had a look at the market map and it is pretty desolate for Saturday. So I just need to go in and see how it goes. I'm not expecting, to be honest, I'll be happy to make one sale. I just don't know. I'm preparing myself to come home for my first day making no sales. But the reason why I'm going in is because it is an unprecedented time. And so the way I see it in business, there's no research, there's no data, there's nothing. I'm heading out, you know, into the unknown. And on one side, there's going to be a massive reduction in footfall. But on the other side, if the other cafe shops in the area are closed, it would give me a greater opportunity to sell to a broader section of the market. So there could be greater opportunity in this situation, but equally so it could be a total flop. And the only way I'm going to kind of realize that is by going out there and trying it out. I am preparing for a loss. Thankfully my overheads are quite low, reasonably so I can absorb that loss for one day. If it's a complete disaster, I just won't go back in during lockdown to Hoxton Street. We'll see what happens at Chatsworth Road. If it's different there, I'm hoping it will be. But again, if nobody comes out, I can't afford to be there and just stand there. I've briefed Joseph. I've explained to him that this week I'm going to be going in to do a recce, and depending on the success of this week, I will then you know, ask him to come in as sort of backup, as it were, and then we can continue to trade. He understands, he knows why I'm doing what I'm doing. He's a good man, and we'll see how we fare going forward. It's Saturday morning at Hoxton Street Market. I'm just setting up the stall. There's a lovely sort of blitz time spirit at the market. There's not a lot of traders out. Not a lot of us have been allowed to trade, understandably, but those who are here, we're being as optimistic as we can be. I've put down this new tape to encourage social distancing, and I've tried to be as optimistic as I can be. So I've put 4 down, hoping to have a bit of a queue today, but we'll see. So I just wanted to share this new loyalty card. I had the package arrive, so I've been handing these out to my customers, and I've been stamping them with my special stamp that I had made. So it's got the bean extract logo on it just there, and when you get 10 cups of coffee, the 10th one is on us. So make sure when you pop down, don't let me forget to give you one of these.
Delicious, I can't get enough.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
My name's Hunter. It's probably the best drop of coffee I've ever had.
Oh, fantastic.
Highly recommend.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annie. It is divine.
Perfect, thank you.
I'm Annie and it's really good coffee.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Antonio and this is amazing coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And my name's Anthony, I'm also in HR. And this is amazing, I'll be back.
Oh, thank you. And who's this little one?
This is Opie.
Opie, hello.
Sit.
Oh, what's this? Oh. Oh, look at that.
You enjoying it?
Happy with that.
Oh, it's so clean.
Thoughts? Thoughts?
It's coming to the end of the day here at Hoxton Street Market. I started the day just with lots of negative thoughts and preconceptions, just convincing myself that it was going to be an absolute write-off and I was going to make a loss. It actually worked out to be the best day I've had at Hoxton Street today, so I'm really pleased about that, and frankly amazed. So I've called Joseph in for tomorrow to assist me. They're 2 very different markets, and there's no guarantee that tomorrow will be busy, but I've got to take the chance, because if it is, then I've got to be ready for it. I'm really happy with the way today's gone, and looking forward to seeing how things progress going forward through lockdown, and just continuing to trade responsibly, safely, and providing an excellent service to people through a very difficult time.
Delicious.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Very tasty.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Marcelo.
From Secret.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you
care.
very much. See you again soon.
Take care.
So it's Sunday at Chatsworth Road. It's been an absolutely wonderful day. We've been busier than ever. Joe, what do you think? How is today?
Second shift. I said trial by fire on the first, but this one was even busier. But it's been great, yeah. When you get into a flow, literally the hours as well, I didn't realise how much time has gone by.
Anytime I didn't have a queue, I'd dive in,
Yeah.
I'd be there like loading milk.
So I appreciate
It was a great day, really productive, and hoping to be back next week. Just love the coffee community here. If you're watching this and you live in Chatsworth Road, do comment below, let others know what you thought of the coffee, and we'll see you next Sunday. Hey folks, if you liked that video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you stay up to date with all of the latest developments coming from Bean Extract. And if you want to try the world's best coffee, head on over to beanextract.co.uk and grab yourself a bag. We ship all over the world.